Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today for your daily tarot. I have to mention, this is the morning after we lost Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the death of that great lady. And I do intend to do a reading on that subject. But I'm just recalling, remember yesterday, the very first pile we chose, there was the death card along with the Emperor. And I remember that. And I remember thinking, for some people, this is about, it really felt like this was about what's on the news, what's going on in a larger scale, that kind of thing. But I do wonder if the cards were trying to tell us. Yeah, they really may have been. Because she loved the law, and the Emperor is all about the law. Well, blessings to her, and we're so very grateful to her. All right. So we begin our daily tarot, and we can always ask, you can always choose a pile with a question in mind. You can always choose more than one pile with maybe more than one question in mind. So with that, we'll begin. For those of you who chose the green stone, the lime green jade, we have the Tower, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Page of Cups. So the Tower is something changing. You know, the Tower can be the pandemic. The Tower can be the times we're in where a lot of things are changing for a lot of people. Or the Tower can be something unique to your life. It's just something that occurs that changes things. But look at the card that it's by. So we have a little bit of good news here with the page. And we have, with the King of Wands, we have purpose and mature, get the job done, kind of fiery, kind of, oh yes, sort of like with enthusiasm. That kind of personality that's mature. So we've got really good cards on either side of this Tower. So I am thinking it really means that if a Tower is happening in your life, you're going to get some good news regardless. I mean, this could even be a good news Tower. Towers don't have to be bad. They can be, oh, you know, we got this. I got this revelation. I got this epiphany. Or this good thing happened and changed everything. The point is, the Tower shakes things up and brings in change. But I feel like for you, we've got the Page of Cups, we got the King of Wands. You're going to stay true to your purpose. You're going to make sure that you act in line with your main priorities. You're going to not lose your focus. And I wonder if this is a little bit of good news coming in somewhere too. So that's an excellent reading. Occasionally, these can be different people in your life. This could be a child in your life or a young person. But then they're doing well, because the Page of Cups is somebody who's carefree, somebody who is following their emotions. At the time, they feel like they can do that. They feel like they can, it's not worry and just be in their emotions, be who they are. So that's a terrific card for them. Yeah, I think the Tower, if there is a Tower going on in your life, it's going to work out for good. For those of you who chose this pearly glass bead, we have the Star card, the Five of Cups, the Ace of Cups. All right. Well, you should be hopeful. Spirit is obviously saying, don't worry, actually be hopeful. And there may be a temptation today to look at regrets or look at negatives, look at losses or disappointments. There may be a temptation to do that today. However, that can come out of, you know, sometimes we just are emotional, right? Sometimes we have too much emotion. Our cup runneth over with emotion. And we need comfort, and we need nurturing, and we need some help from Spirit. So that is exactly what's coming in here. Exactly what's coming in. Spirit is offering some real soothing and sort of transformation of the emotions into a good emotion. Sometimes we have a harder time turning around and looking at the 2 cups that are standing, the things that are good, when we're tired or we've been stressed out or something is going on. We've had too much going on that has impacted us emotionally. Sometimes we really do need to spend some time with Spirit, just being held, being held by Source and held up in that kind of vibrational energy that is loving, that is nurturing, that is comforting. Sometimes we do, and then hope can come in. Spirit is clearly saying you have reason to hope. But there too, with these pictures, with the water pouring out and the water pouring out here, it feels like a cleansing of the emotions is necessary here. And then you won't have so much trouble just focusing on negative things. You won't have so much trouble with that. In fact, your emotion can really take a turn to the positive with these cards. So those are nice cards. Those are reassuring cards. For those of you who chose the gray stone, we have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Page of Wands. Okay. Well, isn't that so interesting? You know what's funny about this one? So the Queen of Swords, yes, she's intellectual. Yes, she's logical. Yes, she's outspoken, perhaps assertive, great planner. But the Queen of Swords also, I feel like that card can mean she's good at picking up the Ace of Swords. She's good at picking up on it when Spirit is giving her an insight or a message or lighting up her planning or, a truth. When Spirit is giving her that clarity, she's good at picking up on that too. She's good at grabbing that sword. So what's funny about that is Spirit is offering you today a direction, a goal. May not be a big goal, but a direction. It really may be something that starts out small, but then it really kind of gathers steam and it turns into something that makes a difference in your life. So this Page of Wands, so it looks to me like Spirit's offering you an opportunity or a goal or a want to or energy for something, purpose for something, and you're hearing it right and you pick it up. That's what it looks like to me. So this Page of Wands has picked up the Ace of Wands and going ahead forward. And it doesn't, like I said, with that page, it doesn't have to seem like something big, but you just may be starting a new habit here that's good. That's really good for you and energizing for you. So I like this. And definitely you have your wits about you today. You're intellectually on target and using all of your knowledge. So these are great cards today. Just great. Good. Something you may do may turn into something bigger than you thought. Do you ever have those times in your life where all of a sudden you start doing this thing, like all of a sudden you start taking long walks, even though, you were just joking the year before how you don't get any exercise? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever have things like that? Or you start to suddenly become interested in something that you never thought you'd be interested in, and all of a sudden you're reading everything you can about this topic. These things can happen. Sometimes that's an Ace of Wands offered by Spirit, and they can really change things. So, for those of you who chose the white stone, we have the Justice card. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Two of Coins. Okay, so the Justice card is about fairness and balance. This is also about balance, being the nimble juggler. You're balancing, and you're doing it well, and you can do it. You're balancing your sources of security, making it look easy, though it could be challenging. And in the Justice card, you're just really wanting to be balanced in the time and effort you give the different sources of security that you have, or give important people in your life, important jobs, important priorities in your life. You're wanting to be balanced, and you're, I think, having a good time with that, being able to do that, having clarity about that. Of course, you're able to balance your sources of security. You're able to balance things fairly for those around you. So This is excellent. But the Three of Swords suggests that you may be bothered today by old thoughts, thoughts of things that were painful or disappointing or frustrating even. Those kinds of thoughts can visit you, and they're old stuff. They're old stuff. Sometimes when they flare up, it's because something's happened that reminds us of that same thing. And sometimes when they come up, it's an opportunity to do something about that, to take a sword out, maybe to really reflect upon that issue. And sometimes Spirit does want us to do that. And it's time to face something square and maybe do some journaling about it, some meditating about it, and let it go. So sometimes it's that. But there is some sort of repeated pattern. I just feel like the bulk of your day this is your major arcana. If there's been something that's been unfair to you, and that's why you get the Three of Swords, like something is again unfair to you, and it's been unfair to you in the past that way, there may be a need to balance some things out. There may be a need for justice here then. Yeah, that can be. Maybe you're very busy. Maybe this is sometimes balancing money. Maybe you feel like the money situation in your family is not fair. And it's time, that's a repeated theme that you want to address. Or maybe you feel like you're so very busy and there's tumultuous waves in the background and you want to be more balanced just in general for your own health and well-being. And so this might be a day where you're fed up with being imbalanced and you're saying, okay, now that is not fair to me and I do need to get more balance. This is a good card to have on a day like that. That's a impulse from Spirit. And so you will be helped in doing that. But, really, you're doing great. You keep on managing. I think you're just wanting to make it a more pleasant experience for you. To see, this can be sometimes kind of challenging and tiring. So maybe you want it to be more balanced. But good cards for that. All right. Well, I thank you all so very much, and I hope you have a terrific day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.